Hello there, this is Steve here in Sydney of the Laynosis website truebluehealer.com. I've got quite a treat for you here. It's almost practically a gift from the gods off YouTube. It's a little playlist I'd like to show to you, and I've cut a few bits out and reinforced them with text. But we have someone with some authority who's well trained in the shape of a policeman. Now, I have long advocated the position that police make the best skeptics over the pseudo-skeptic community all over the internet. And a reason being is that they have to elucidate facts from disinformation every day of their life. And if they misreport things, if they are found planting evidence, lying in court, because they have to face what do you call it, cross-examination from two sides of the question, the claim, that is, they can face jail themselves. Okay, so it's a pretty serious business. That's why a policeman goes about getting the facts out of a situation, out of so much disinformation, misinformation, that he's got to be very careful, because he's continually thinking, what if a judge asks me this? What if a judge asks me that? Okay, so that's what this is about. It's a policeman who's very well spoken. He's a very rapid speaker, so pay attention. He's got a lot to tell you in a few minutes, and I've clipped a few bits out, and I'm going to emphasize them with supportive text, the great value of what he actually says. And he seems to be probably a law student or a qualified lawyer already while he's a practicing policeman. I'm uncertain of that. But he's a high-flying intellectual too. He likes to contemplate integral calculus mathematics on YouTube videos. He goes by the YouTube moniker Justicar, which seems to be something like Carriage of Justice or something like that. It's a good name for a policeman talking on YouTube about skepticism. And what he does is he sort of gives you the alpha and the omega, dare I use a religious expression, because he is an atheist. He gives you the A to Z of basic skepticism, of what it really is, and he lambasts the skeptic community for being fake skeptics, quite aggressively. Okay, so I'll let you look at this video now, and I'll make some commentary afterwards. Okay, and there's a playlist, a couple of videos, and with additional commentary tacked on the end of it. Okay, so I commend it to you. This is a policeman in the US somewhere, and by the name of Justicar, and he's talking about basic skepticism, what every skeptic doesn't know, basically. Okay, so here's the man.
So, I'm in policeman mode tonight to help you out. One of the problems that attends the so-called skeptical community is that many of the so-called skeptics in it don't understand what skepticism is. As a person who has had tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent training me to be really good at not believing every old thing I'm told and asking questions, allow me to give you, the taxpayer, return on your investment, some pro bono work.
Just to give you some idea of the context he's talking in, he's basically talking about TAM meetings and the strange reports of sexual offences to so-called authorities of that are running the TAM meetings, and he's actually quite strident, saying they're nothing like authorities. They're only good at getting money out of your pocket. That's all they do. That's all they think about. So, and he says skepticism is what you have toward women who make claims about what men have done to them afterwards, allegedly. He said you need to be hyper-skeptical about that. That's just his personal definition. Okay, and it's fair enough. He says it's about time they grew up and figured out that you go to the police with serious allegations or shut up, one or the other. But he then goes on to talk about skepticism in a wider sense, and
So to all of you pretend skeptics out there, if you're not going to do the work of being a skeptic, that is, asking questions, stop calling yourself a skeptic. Or, more to the point, if other people are going to ask questions that you're not inclined to ask because you happen to want to, you're inclined to think that what a person's telling you is true, then you have the problem. The fact that you might think a person is trustworthy and therefore you don't need to ask them certain kinds of questions is not an argument that because you trust a person, anyone else has to. So get that out of your head. That is the bread and butter, or should be the bread and butter of what skepticism is. If, unless and until you are presented with an adequate justification to accept as true a claim that has been proposed to you as being true, you are fully licensed to reject it. And it's not hyper-skepticism. And it's not rude. Have a great day.
And toward the end of the first video, he says something like, if you're not prepared to be skeptical in all directions toward every fact and piece of information coming toward you, then you're not a true skeptic, and stop calling yourself a skeptic, because what all the pseudo-skeptics do on the internet basically is beat up on certain types of people. That's anyone who's a proponent of Psi, ESP, or a Christian. And they never ask the hard questions about James Randi himself, who eggs them on to do this, you see. And he's saying that's not skepticism. That's got other names, which I will give you, such as just belligerence, head-kicking, people that you don't like, and claiming to be a skeptic, which you are not. And that's what the policeman is calling you all out on. All of you, from Michael Shermer, James Randi, down. Okay? All you have to do is click the orange link, okay? It'll take you to the first policeman short video. And do pay attention, he speaks very quickly.